To Knowledge Ocean. Today we will start with Chemistry Class 10 chapters. It is a kind of revision notes. Chapter 1, Chemical Reaction and Equation. Chemical equation. First we will start with the definition. A chemical equation is an equation which represents a chemical reaction by using the symbols of elements and formula of compounds. A chemical reaction is chemist shorthand. For example, the word equation zinc plus sulfuric acid, zinc sulfate plus hydrogen can be represented as Zn plus H2SO4, ZnSO4 plus H2. Oxidation reaction, and a reaction in which oxygen or an electronegative element O minus 2, that is electronegative element, is added is called an oxidation reaction. It can also be defined as a reaction in which hydrogen or an electropositive element H plus is removed. In terms of electrons, oxidation is a process in which loss of electrons takes place. Reactant plus oxygen or electronegative element product, or reactant minus hydrogen or electropositive element product. Reduction reaction. A reaction in which hydrogen or an electropositive element is added is called a reduction reaction. It can also be defined as a reaction in which the oxygen or an electronegative element is removed. In terms of electrons, reduction is a process in which gain of electrons take place. The basic form of this type of reaction is reactant plus hydrogen or electropositive element product, reactant minus oxygen or electronegative element product. There is a tip given, that is Leo, the tiger, the lion says GER, loss of electrons is oxidation, gain of electrons is reduction. Redox reaction. Those reactions in which oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously are called redox reaction. Oxidizing agent. It is a substance which can add oxygen or an electronegative element to other material in a reaction. Reducing agent. It is a substance which can add hydrogen or electropositive element to other material in a reaction. Oxidizing agent remove hydrogen or electropositive element from other materials in a reaction. Reducing agent remove oxygen or electronegative element from other material in a reaction. Oxidizing agent gain electrons, reducing agent lose electrons. Corrosion. The process of gradual eating away of the upper layer of metal due to an action of air, moisture, acid, etc. is called corrosion. Some elements like iron, copper, etc. corrode easily. Corrosion is a redox reaction because the metal gets oxidized to metal oxide and oxygen gets reduced. Sometimes we see that the black layer on the silver after a long time due to the corrosion process. Corrosion is a redox reaction because metal gets oxidized to metal oxide and oxygen gets reduced to oxide ion. Corrosion of iron is known as rusting. Both oxygen and water necessary for the rust formation. The formula of rust is Fe2O3.NH2O, which is reddish brown in color. This part is very important. Rancidity. We often get a bad smell when food is spoiled. What it is known as, why does it happen? The process of development of unpleasant odor, flavor or taste due to the oxidation of oil or fat in a food known as rancidity. Now acids, base and salts. What are acids? Acids are compounds that have the ability to accept electrons or donate protons. In other words, acid donate or lose H plus ions in aqueous solution. The word acid is derived from the Latin word acidus, meaning sour. The sour taste of lemon, raw mango, tamarind is due to the presence of acid in them. Bases. Bases are compounds that have the ability to accept protons or donate electrons. In other words, bases donate or lose OH minus ions in their aqueous solution. Acid plus metal, metal, salt plus hydrogen gas. Reaction of metal with a base, Zn plus 2NaOH, Na2ZnO2, this is known as sodium zincate plus H2. Metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate plus acid, salt plus water plus carbon dioxide. The general form of reaction between a metal oxide and an acid is metal oxide plus acid, salt plus water. Remember that the metal oxide here acts as a base. Al2O3 plus 6HCl, 2LCl3 plus 3H2O. Don't forget to balance both the sides in reactants and products. Reaction of non-metallic oxides with base. Non-metallic oxide plus base salt plus water, BaOH equal to plus SO3, BaSO4 plus H2O, P4O10 plus 12 NaOH, 4 Na3PO4 plus 6 H2O. Generally, pH of a solution is measured with the help of a pH paper. pH paper is a paper which is coated with universal indicator. pH paper indicates approximate pH. It also sees the concentration of H plus ions. The pH is mainly used in many ways to measure which is a base or an acid. For example, the magnesium hydroxide, the milk of magnesia, often used to reduce the acidity in our stomach. Plaster of Paris. The chemical name of plaster of Paris is calcium sulfate hemihydrate, CaSO4 half H2O. The two formal units of calcium sulfate contain one molecule of water. Thus, one formula unit of calcium sulfate gets only half a molecule of water to share. The uses of plaster of Paris is like we use it to make idols, false ceiling, to repair the fractured bones in hospitals, etc. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, etc.